Let's take stock now. We've got 3 hours.
Darling, finish the Beaujolais and walk away from it.
No, come on, shut up now, Patsy.
Right, I'm off. Are we eating?
Yes, hot after, yes, French, Italian, whatever you like,
Oh,
sweetie.
darling, no one's eating that sort of food anymore. There's a fabulous new Japanese in Mayfair. Everything is raw. Anything that has a pulse is lunch.
All right, darling, whatever.
Well, Patsy's alter ego, Joanna Lumley, couldn't be more different from that, as I discovered when I went to meet her earlier this week and ended up talking about poltergeists and past lives. See this. Now, Joanna, if you look back in your career, say you're 21, and you could see that you were a Bond girl, you were Purdy, and you were Patsy, do you think you'd be pretty satisfied with what you've done?
As an actress? Well, I became an actress because I thought I'd be doing a lot of Shakespeare. So isn't that strange? Because I've never done Shakespeare. It's one thing I've never done. I've done, you know, Wilde and Ibsen and Coward and all.
Is it going to happen, do you think?
The parts for older women dwindle, and of course I'm very greedy and would like to play, so I might have to direct Shakespeare rather than do it. But you'd think how lucky. I mean, I didn't have an idea. I never had a plan of a career. You just hope you'll get one job and can pay the gas bill. But maybe if I was 21 again, maybe I wouldn't have acted at all, strangely enough.
Really?
No, I might have. I'm very interested in teaching, and I think that if I could rack it back to earlier than 21, I might have continued to study chemistry and biology, and actually I might have gone into medicine. I always wanted to be a surgeon of some kind. I love the idea of mending people's bodies.
Is there a hint of regret here, then, that you didn't become a surgeon?
No, because we have, my particular beliefs, which might not coincide with yours, is that we do come back again, so I'll be a surgeon next time.
Right.
If I'm a man.
Or
an ant. I don't know, I might be something quite different.
Now, you mentioned reincarnation, so you think you'll be coming back next time as a surgeon because you think this life you wanted to do something else in the next life?
Might not come back as a person next time, but I can't believe, I mean, to be sober for a second, none of us seem to leave this planet. Nothing leaves the planet. We're just recycled. So you have to be reincarnated, if that's a word, made into another kind of shape or body. You have to be. It just has to be. This sofa was once something quite different, because, you know, when the cotton was something that was grown from something that grew out of the bones of animals. So everything we touch has been recycled, including you, although you're looking pretty good.
So, do you get a feeling that you were something else in a previous life? I mean,
I have strangest memories of things that haven't happened to me. And the first time this happened to me was in a dream, which lasted about 3 years in my dream, in that I can account for what happened to me as a boy when I was on board a ship. I must have been a cabin boy or something. And the ships were wooden, so it was a long time ago. So I don't know what's going on. You can say I imagined it, but I think it's that I've gathered up. I've been made together in clumps. I believe in this primal soup, in fact.
have you done much investigation into the previous Joannas then?
No, they weren't Joanna at all.
Right.
No. One was an ant. No, I don't know. I just literally don't know. But I just know that some of the memories we have, and we all have this, where you have a sense that you've been somewhere before, or you like something much more for some reason.
Your spirituality sounds very important to you.
I'm a great believer in, a great follower of all religions, because they all seem to say the same thing. And I think it's really sad that they have such hatred and conflict with each other, because actually they're all saying the same thing slightly differently. The answer is we don't really know. We've never really known. And the second we leave this life to what somebody rather charmingly called into the greater mystery, we will then know, but we don't know here. So we invent all kinds of rules of saying, if you're with my team, this certainly happens. If you're with that team, that certainly doesn't happen. But we don't know.
Do you kind of take different bits of religion then? You say, I'll have that tiny little piece of Buddhism there and take that, and that can live with me, and a tiny bit of Catholicism. Is it possible to mix and match?
What, the sort of buffet attitude? I don't really know what to say about this, because it sounds as though I'm being a bit flaky, but I do believe most sincerely in practically everything.
Okay. So do you have quite a spiritual motivation on a day-to-day basis then, or is this something you sit down and think of kind of every month, every couple of months?
No, I feel it's around us all the time. I seem to have a sense about places. I can tell immediately if a place is haunted. And I feel sometimes if a place is auspicious or good or bad.
Because you wrote a very good account about the house that you moved into that was haunted. I mean, it seemed to be daily occurrences of people.
It was. I mean, haunted is a word that makes a lot of people go, oh, "Phoo, you don't believe in that." But if people who do understand it or have actually experienced something like this, they know exactly what I mean, which is that most of the rooms in that house were never empty. So when you went into a room which had no people in it, it wasn't empty, which is not a very good feeling. And a lot of much more obvious things happened. Lights went on and off, water appeared on mantelpieces, things were taken like poltergeist things, taken and moved and thrown away somewhere else. And some visual experiences which were really, really odd. Seeing a figure walking past a window, and when I checked the next day, I thought, I don't think he should have gone past there in the garden. And it turned out that he couldn't have walked past the window because outside it was so much lower that we'd seen the top of his head. I realised he was walking past the back of the sofa inside. I saw it reflected. He was walking behind me.
And did you leave the house because of that?
Partly it was difficult to work from there because I was still very much based in London and we couldn't manage the commuting. Partly because of 1,000 different reasons. But the ghost left it.
While you were still there?
No.
After you left?
It came away with me.
Really? One is still with you now?
Sitting between us.
In the plumped cushions. Does your ability to see ghosts and that kind of almost psychic ability, does that scare you?
No, and I don't think I am truly a psychic. Is that I know I have a psychic capability, and I know that all of us have it, latent, have it. Just as my husband, who's a musician, says that everybody is musical and everybody can sing. It's just that very, very early on we were told we can't. So I think we can all do things more than we are asked to do. I think we're much more perceptive about each other than we're expected to be. We very seldom, you're looking at me, but actually we very seldom hold each other's eyes. It's considered rude or rather suggestive to stare into people's eyes. But you go to the villages in Bangladesh and they literally stare, they devour you, and they'll stand quite close and devour you for minutes on end. There's something rather good about that. So I think that we would just know and see and could perceive much more than we do.
Joanna, thank you very much. It's been great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
You were so flirting with each other.
Listen, if Joanna Lumley finds me attractive, who am I to argue?
Yeah, not like you didn't reciprocate or anything. Well.